Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with fellow vampire Christopher Johnson,
Hello, everyone.
and we're back to discuss some horror movies.
Yes, and apparently we've decided to go with one of the earliest ones.
And the most influential one,
Yes.
Nosferatu. And considering that I don't want to be familiar with this, I'm going to give you the overview. Nosferatu, a sympathy of horror, is a 1922 silent German expressionist vampire film directed by Friedrich Wilhelm Murnau from a screenplay by Henrik Galeen. It stars Max Schreck as Count Orlok. Nosferatu was produced by Prana Film, and it is an unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's novel Dracula. Various names and other details were changed from the novel, including Count Dracula being renamed Count Orlok. Even with several details altered, Stoker's widow, Florence Stoker, sued over the adaptation's copyright violation. And the court ruling ordered all copies to be destroyed. However, several prints of Nosferatu survived, and the film came to be regarded as an influential masterpiece of cinema and horror genre.
Yes.
Yeah.
And before we get too far into things, remember, if you like what we do, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, share our content, and be sure to click the post notification bell if you're already subscribed to get updated with all of our upcoming videos.
Yeah. Of course, German Expressionism, it was an artistic movement in the early 20th century that emphasized the artist's inner emotions, then attempting to resonate in reality. They use visual distortions and hyper-expressive performances to reflect inner conflicts. And now the synopsis. The mysterious Count Orlok summons Thomas Hutter to his remote Transylvanian castle in the mountains. The eerie Orlok seeks to buy a house near Hutter and his wife Ellen. After Orlok reveals his vampire self, Hutter struggles to escape the castle, knowing that Ellen is in grave danger. Meanwhile, Orlok's servant, Nock, prepares for his master to arrive at his new home. Yeah, so my introduction was the SpongeBob short.
Same here. Same here. I think you all know the one.
Show the clip.
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Ah, classic.
Yep. I didn't know he was an actual version of Dracula until I got more into horror movies.
Kind of the same way. I knew he was supposed to be. I knew he was a vampire. I knew he was like one of the early forms of what a vampire would be, but I did not know that he was essentially made to be Dracula, but not be Dracula.
Yeah. But speaking of the Count Orlok, played by Max Schreck, which ironically his real name translates to terror and horror in real life.
Plus, I do believe some of him actually influenced the character Shrek.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, Max Schreck's also been homaged in the Batman Returns movie.
That is true. That is true.
Well, Count Orlok you're familiar with the rat form that we're familiar with, That's also been homaged in a lot of other media. Just like the Bela Lugosi Dracula is mainly the one homage in many media. This version's been homaged in the 1979 Salem's Lot miniseries from Barlow. It was also homaged in DuckTales, where they have their own Nosferatu in the DuckTales reboot. Yeah.
How come they went more with Orlok than Dracula?
Guess it was more familiar.
Eh.
And of course, there was also a recent version in The Last Voyage of the Demeter where Dracula looks like the Count Orlok version in Nosferatu.
And just like with the whole SpongeBob clip, more recent episodes have actually used Nosferatu, in an episode or two.
And Buffy also, her first main villain, the Master, is based on the look of Count Orlok.
True, very true.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's influenced a lot.
Yeah.
But let's get into the Count himself. I thought Matt Crick did good for his 9 minutes of film. Yes, he's only in there for 9 minutes. We don't really notice that all.
No, I did not realize that. How? Only 9 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, I know the silent film isn't necessarily that long, but
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Does that even include the shadow parts?
Yeah.
Wow. God, they really condensed the story then.
Yeah.
They really condensed it.
Yeah. We really don't see him until he rides the...
Oh, where he's running the chariot?
Yeah. To go take Hutter. That's our first time we see him covered up.
Oh, horse and buggy.
Yeah. Yeah, our first official appearance yet. Till we see him again. And because he's a vampire, time has no meaning, so he can just go right back.
Yeah, true. Because apparently he has a number of powers and abilities that I didn't know vampires could have.
Yeah, like werewolves. Like being turned into a werewolf. Even though it's sort of a hyena, dog, whatever it is in the silent movie.
Well, I mean, where were they going to find a wolf
Yeah.
that was domesticated?
Yeah. Yeah.
The ability to phase through things.
Yeah.
I guess just straight up invisibility.
Yeah.
But yet the man had to carry his own coffin.
Yep. That was the part that had me laughing when I first saw the movie. I was like, he was a threat up until he started carrying the coffin. La-di-da. Let me find where I'm putting the...
Now, where is this house?
Yeah.
I know it's somewhere.
I know it was probably scary back in the day in German cinemas, but then it wasn't really scary for today.
But you have to give Shrek all the credit with his expressions and how he was able to use the makeup and prosthetics to show that eerie and unnerving feeling, seeing as though this is a silent film and he can't really, use his voice or anything else.
Yep. He also brings a plague of death. He doesn't turn people into vampires like Dracula does. He just kills people.
Yeah.
It brings death and destruction in his wake.
Yeah.
Because they tried to change that part to try and make it not so much like the book.
Licensing and copyrights.
Yeah. Still wasn't enough to still not get caught from the widow.
That's still messed up, though.
Yeah. Of course, he's also the first vampire to die from sunlight.
Yeah, which I'm actually surprised that this adaptation is the one that created one of the most well-known tropes for vampires.
And now a myth, because back in the old vampire folklore, they were never allergic to sunlight at all. They were just... Their powers were weakened, but they didn't really die from sunlight.
That's why a couple other adaptations have
Yeah.
either weakened powers or you sparkle.
Yeah.
We will never forgive Twilight for that.
Yeah. I prefer the weakened powers more.
Yeah.
That's also specific in the Dracula novel. Of course, then later Dracula adaptations decided to go use that whole Nosferatu, Count Orlok dying from the sunlight, for them to their adaptation. Sorry, with Christopher Lee's version of Dracula dying from sunlight.
What about Fright Night?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah.
Allergic to sunlight.
Yeah. So basically every vampire movie, except for a couple few adaptations that tried to be faithful to the Dracula novel.
And even other things that do involve vampires. I mean, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dio could not survive in sunlight when he put on the stone mask and became a vampire.
Yeah. But of course, he decides to go torture our other lead, Gustav von Wagenheim, as Thomas Hutter.
While he did do a good job, for some reason he felt a little too goofy to me.
Yeah. He was, and also, I thought of him as an idiot.
Which I think is a part of the goofiness.
Yeah. Like, after being attacked the first night, he forgets all about it even happening. Oh, it's just a mosquito bite. That bit me,
Twice.
yeah, in the same spot.
Oh no, he thought, oh, I guess two mosquitoes just decided to land side by side and just, you know, prick me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing to worry about, you know, with that weird rat-looking guy that has sharp front teeth that decides to buy a house near my house. Yeah, that's nothing to worry about.
He also decides to not hear the locals' worries about going to Count Orlok.
Yeah, listen to the Romani people. Listen to the gypsies. They're trying to warn you.
Nor the book that he reads, but he somehow brings with him.
I thought he threw it.
Yeah. Unless they all have the same book. Even the vampire.
What, he needed his own manual? What? Yeah. Seeing as though I'm a vampire, I guess I need to look at my vampire manual. Okay. Oh, that comes in handy. Oh, I better watch out for that.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, he gets and he's not much of a hero trying to, I do like it the moment when he actually sees Orlok in the coffin and freaks out.
Yeah.
That's also another memorable scene. But then he sucks at escaping by falling down in the ground, and then, like, I don't want to get up. I'll get back up after I get out of the hospital. As soon as he gets there, the ghost So, sort of, well, in thinking that he rescued his wife, it all was too late. The plague hit.
No, yeah.
He arrived the same time as Orlok. Basically.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe it. Well, they only had so much time to film, so it's not compared to the other, the new one where he was there to get ready for when the reckoning shows up.
Yeah. Yep. Of course, he also does. Yeah. Of course, then he also tries to protect her by being in denial about what's going on for the rest.
I mean, big fella, this ain't Family Guy. You can't just ignore it like the giant squid.
Yeah. Of course, let's talk about really the real main protagonist, Ellen Hutter, played by Greta Schroeder.
She also did a good job, though it does also feel like she wasn't necessarily in the movie as long.
Yeah, although has a psychic presence for either her husband or Orlok, one of the two, because she could sense Hutter being in trouble from Orlok.
Or maybe it could have been kind of a link to both.
Yeah. That she ended up sleepwalking.
Yeah, which is... I actually thought that was a little funny.
Yeah.
Just... And also, why was she tipping?
Yeah.
She often walked like she was wearing high heels, but she wasn't wearing high heels.
Yeah. Of course, she is the one who makes the honorable sacrifice to end.
Well, I mean, spoilers, man.
No, it's been 100 years. Who cares about spoilers at this point?
True. It's been a century.
Yeah.
I would think most... Well, how many people have watched the original?
Pretty sure the old school horror people have watched it, most of the original.
Yeah.
They're in the public domain.
True. I swear to God, we better not get copywritten Google.
Yeah.
This is public domain now. It doesn't have a copyright anymore.
Yeah. Then, of course, the guy who sent Thomas there, Alec Greenridge as the Knock, a.k.a. the Renfield of the movie, because he basically is Renfield.
Yeah. And every monster needs a henchman.
Yeah. Yep. He was another creepy human.
It's a bit of an understatement, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, running around causing havoc.
Yep.
Getting things ready for Count Orlok.
Yep. Sending Thomas Hutter as dead meat.
Yeah. Actually committing a murder.
Yep. Although he was a good scapegoat for everyone who didn't know that was a vampire behind it.
True. So I guess he just locked up forever.
Yeah. Yeah, so Alexander did a good job with what he had.
Yeah.
Then let's get to the professors of the movies, which they played minor roles because they were the counterparts to their novel things, although their novel versions played much more to do. Professor Ballware, played by John Gwalt. That's as good as I'm going to get for that.
Yeah,
The
German
German
names.
Yep, he was the sane man with Hutter's thing. You can see him in the opening scene telling him not to run your fate. And he has an obsession with vampirism, which gets to nowhere.
Of course.
He teaches his class.
But hey, we got to see a Venus flytrap.
Yep. And he's the one that Hutter calls to go help out Ellen, even though it's too late by then.
Though I do find it weird that a spider helped influence some of this
Yeah,
whole idea.
yeah. And then Gustav Botz as Professor Severs, aka Old Man Seward. I call him in the adaptation department. Because in the novel, Seward's a much younger guy, doctor, who has feelings for the girl who always gets killed.
Of course.
Yeah.
The Lucy in the story.
Yeah. But here began a trend where he became an old man who had no connection with Lucy whatsoever.
And also has very impressive mutton chops.
Yep. Yep, he was there to go watch over Knock, mainly.
Yeah, because, I mean, as you are,
And
a doctor focusing on people's health, you would also want to watch over the guy that has completely lost his mind.
Of course, he also misdiagnosed Ellen's thing. Too much blood congestion.
Oh,
What does that mean?
This was back in the day where they thought bloodletting would make people feel,
Yeah.
get healthy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, using a lot of leeches and whatnot.
Yeah. Yep, so that's basically his only optimistic part.
I mean, I understand that if he, blood clots and whatnot, but really, or high blood pressure, but
Yeah.
I don't see how bloodletting really helped.
Yeah.
If anybody knows about this, please let us know in the comments, the whole bloodletting thing.
But he's even as useless as Professor Ballware.
I mean, really, was anyone truly useful in this film other than Ellen and Knock?
No. Not really. Here's the two supporting people, Georgia H. Chanel as Harding and Ruth Blanchard as his sister Ruth. This won't be the first time that the love interest be turned into siblings. This happens in the first Hammer movie.
Weird.
Yep.
Why?
Don't know why.
What were they against the idea of there being couples?
Well, in Nosferatu's case, they were just trying to change it so they want to get copyright.
Well, yeah, not trying to get sued until they got sued.
Yeah.
That does make me wonder, did his widow ever find out that there were still some copies left?
Probably not.
Oh, she passed before it.
Yeah.
Before they found out, oh, there's still some copies left.
Yeah.
So really, in the end, who won?
Yeah. Of course, they're there for moral support for Ellen when Thomas leaves for his dire journey.
Yeah, and only one of them has to unfortunately become a sacrificial lamb.
Off screen.
Yeah, the one, yeah.
Yeah, but
We'll get more into that.
yeah, but they're just there, and Harding does find the ship that took Orlok with the dead captain, and finds the ship log.
Well, not just yeah.
Because
he was the only one left.
Yeah.
Everybody else either got thrown off to sea because, well, they got or plague.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's as close as we get from him, is him finding the ship's log because he's a ship owner. So
that's for real one of the few times we actually see a dead person in this.
yeah.
Huh.
Yep. And of course, Ruth playing the Danza, also playing Ruth. Apparently, there was the lead scene where she got chased by Orlok.
Ooh.
and then got killed. But there's no like evidence like in the script or anything. According to the actress, that's what happened.
Huh.
That they apparently shot that never came.
That would have been interesting to find.
Yeah. But considering it was filmed in the 1920s.
And how many copies were destroyed?
Yeah.
I think that even had to include, like, the original, like...
Negative.
Yeah, the original negatives that were, used in the camera.
Yep. But the plot.
Well, yes. I mean, it's Dracula.
It's only Dracula, only he goes to Germany instead of England.
Yeah.
Basically. And plagues instead of vampires.
Why didn't they... Shouldn't they have changed the whole idea of where he was from? I mean, you still kept Transylvania.
Yeah.
That automatically gave much more leeway of you getting sued. You could have found another area in Europe.
Yeah. Of course, some of the creepy atmosphere, like the shadows from Orlok.
Yes. Which some of that is very iconic. I mean, look at some of our visual aids here.
Yeah, but of course it was also produced by people who worship the occult.
If only I had a cross right now.
Yeah. And some of the readings from like Nock and Orlok, those were basically occult symbols.
See, this is part of the reason why I wanted you to do the notes, because I did not want things floating in my house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those were... Well, it didn't really matter anyway because they got bankrupt anyway. On that point.
Yeah. Don't mess with forces beyond your understanding or comprehension.
And like I said, Count Orlok's Ratlook, which has been homaged now time and time again, next to his British counterpart Dracula. Well, the universal version of Dracula.
Yeah, done by Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, those are the two that are used the most.
Which I think both are very, very great looks for the character.
Yeah.
If you want him to be a bit more unsettling.
Yeah.
And,
not charming at all.
And actually kind of looking a bit like an actual monster.
Yeah.
You go with Orlok. If you want him to be a bit more suave, debonair, and you being lured into a sense of comfort and security before, you go with Dracula.
Yeah.
Options, everyone.
Yeah. Of course, some of the acting, like I said, Max Schreck, Greta Schroeder, and I guess Alexander Greenwich a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they all did a good job, with the limitations of what film could be at that time.
Yeah.
And definitely with Shrek.
Yeah.
I mean, he truly was a presence.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think about the whole sit up from the coffin.
Which has also been homaged a lot from other adaptations of Dracula.
And heck, just even in popular culture. I mean, I told you about one of my favorite wrestlers, Malachi Black or Aleister Black, when he was in the WWE. His entrance actually had him rise up like he's coming out of a coffin.
Yeah.
Or
of course, the first film that vampires dies from sunlight, which wouldn't happen again until the Hammer version, and would keep happening again in other adaptations that we've already stated.
Yeah.
And
Though apparently what remains of the vampire tends to change from time to time. I mean, this one's smoldering pile of ash.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was quick, too.
Yeah. Of course, the only cameo is Max Schreck's wife making a cameo as a hospital nurse. I think who was taking care of Thomas when he was crazy, when he was trying to get out to go save Ellen.
Well, that and also the fact of, bruh, how much blood did you end up losing getting fed on?
Yeah.
I don't think vampires would necessarily care about conservation of a source of sustenance.
Yeah. So we've already discussed the bad, like Hutter being an idiot, and both professors not doing anything, not having much to do, and Count Orlok carrying his coffin around.
Now, where is that house I bought? Is that it? No. Oh, there's the Hutter. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But want to get to our scores?
Sure.
I give this a 9 out of 10. It's still fun, and despite the parts that still irritate me, one scene that just makes me laugh that we've discussed over and over again. I still enjoy this movie. Not just because it's a silent movie, but because it was influential to the vampire lore and all of the horror tropes when it comes to vampires now.
For me, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It is a very good film. It's a very important film. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is where a lot of what we would end up seeing with a lot of things and horror, vampires, and whatnot would come from. So, I mean, this laid the groundwork for so many things.
Yeah. But before we go, we're not done yet. We have one more Nosferatu to go.
Ah, yes. The new one.
Yep. The one I've been much excited for.
Yeah, the one that I was interested in seeing.
What, you want to roll this out?
Sure.
Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you to come again. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. It means a lot. So, cut, print, that's a wrap.